Happy Tuesday, as always. We're going to start the show after the intro. If I can pull it up. What's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Gio back again with another show. How's everyone's Tuesday going? How's everyone's week going? Mine, obviously, can't complain. Starting off great. I feel like it's been a long week and it's just been Tuesday with everything, obviously. Yesterday was my birthday. Whoop whoop. 32. I'll jump into all the details later on in the show, but how's everyone doing? Hopefully, whatever you got going on, you're taking care of. Stresses, whatever, life, whatever it is, take it back, breathe, relax. As long as you're here, healthy, living, thriving, everything's going to work itself out as usual. Much love to everyone, as always. But let's jump into it. So, we've I think for today, usually, I start off Niners talk, but feel like nothing much has been going on. It's all been the same, and I've already expressed my thoughts on there. Obviously, in a month, the draft will be here. I'm excited for that. Niners have a lot of picks. I believe they have 11 or 12 picks. Uh, Obviously, we have the 11th pick as well, and so I think I'm gonna start off with a. I'm gonna do a top 12 mock draft. So the first 12 picks. Um, and I feel so. I actually had something already pre-made, right? But right now, the Giants announced that they have signed Russell Wilson, so that changed up who I thought the Giants would go with. So I'm actually gonna stay similar, but there's a little tweaks that I'm gonna make now. But yes, the Giants they signed Russell Wilson, so they have Russell Wilson, they have Jameis Winston, which makes me think that at pick number 3 they're not gonna go Shador Sanders. They're probably gonna go something else. That was one of the signings, and then I saw Stephon Diggs to where did he go? The Patriots, right? I believe the Patriots they got Stephon Diggs, so Drake May gets a weapon for the Patriots. Shout out George. But let's start off the number one pick. I feel like the Titans are gonna go Cam Ward. Um, I still think they might try to trade that pick, get some more assets. I what I've been reading, they still like Will Levis. They want to see, he's still young. But if they can get a package that they like, I think they go Cam Ward. Cam Ward is the best quarterback in this draft. The Titans, obviously, they need a quarterback. Number one pick, might as well get your guy, Cam Ward. He has it all, size, pocket presence, pocket movement. So I think, if you're gonna go quarterback, that's the safest quarterback to go. So I think the Titans at number one, they go Cam Ward. Now, number two pick is the Cleveland Browns. I think right now the Browns, obviously, they were able to re-sign Myles Garrett, but we'll see what Deshaun Watson is when he comes back, if he comes back. So I think they want to make a big splash, and they want a superstar. So I think they go Travis Hunter, paired him with Denzel Ward. I think most likely they'll use him as a cornerback. We might get here or there plays as a wide receiver, but I think Travis Hunter is more of a cornerback. The Browns solidify their secondary, and I think they go there. Could they go? Could they do Shador Sanders? Uh, I don't know. I think they go Travis Hunter. So the Cleveland Browns number 2 go Travis Hunter. The Giants. So I had here Shador. But like I said, they just signed Russell Wilson. They have Jameis. So I don't think they're gonna go quarterback anymore. So I think they've lost Dexter Lawrence, I believe. Oh no, they gained Dexter. They have Dexter Lawrence. Sorry. Um, they lost a couple pieces on the defense, so I think they go Mason Graham, the consensus best defensive tackle in this draft. Obviously, the Abdul Carter is there. There's some injury concerns, but I think they go Mason Graham at number 3. and just start boosting up that defense. At number 4, New England Patriots. Um, this is the guy actually I want for the Niners, but with his impressive combine, Armand Membo, I believe New England Patriots take him. They want to protect Drake May. Um, I'm sure Vrabel, like I said, he wants to protect his quarterback, build from the trenches, so O line, D line, and you get the best offensive line player in the draft. He has the size, he has the speed. I believe he ran this 40 at like 4.90. Obviously, he weighs 300 something pounds. So they get, safe pick, not the glamorous, but like you need these type of players. So they go Armand Membu, number 4, New England Patriots. And now number 5, a little slip, but I believe Jacksonville Jaguars are smart. He'll fall right into their lap. Abdul Carter, potentially the best player in the draft. As I mentioned, he has injury concerns, but all reports lead that he will be ready. And I think, the Jaguars, they just falls in their lap. They go Abdul Carter, bolster up that defense. I believe they still have their other defensive linemen. They have Eric Armstead there. So I think that's the pick to go at number 5. Now, number 6 for my Raiders fans. Sanders is there at 6, but you just got Geno Smith signed him to a big contract. Can they pull basically what the Falcons did last year, right? They signed Cousins, but they still drafted Penix. But I think Las Vegas just needs a lot of things. They need weapons, and they go running back. They go Alshon Genty. They could go McMillan there too, but I think Genty, they're saying he's the next generational running back. You solidify that with Geno Smith. And later on in the draft, you can get a receiver. But I think the Las Vegas Raiders, they go Alshon Genty at number 6. Number 7, New York Jets. Another potential spot, right, for Sanders. But they just got Justin Fields. I guess they're going to see what they got in him. He's still young. I believe they have Tyrod Taylor there as well. So I think, last year they got a O-lineman as well. They got Fashuanu. So I think they go Will Campbell, LSU, offensive tackle, can play guard, bolster up this O-line. And this is what teams are doing now. We see the Lions' success with it. We saw the Eagles dominate with both a D-line and O-line being dominant. You solidify this. Next year, probably the Jets, I don't think they're going to do good, so they might fill out. Most of these teams going for a quarterback are thinking next year's class is going to be better. So you, like I said, you build up your trenches. So they go Will Campbell from LSU. Solid, like I said, solid pick. Number 8, the Carolina Panthers. They need a lot of help. Potentially, they got their quarterback. Bryce Young, he finished great. He needs weapons. They need help on the defense, so they go Jalen Walker, linebacker edge from Georgia. Very fast. He's a little small, but he gets to the quarterback. I feel like Carolina Panthers, they go defense. Rodgers to the Niners. Like I said, I wasn't thinking of talking Niners talk, but if we take a break from the draft, well, I'll come back to this question, Alberto. I'm almost done with this little mock draft that I have. Number 9, Saints. They go Michael Williams, edge. Pair someone up with Cameron Jordan. Cameron Jordan is getting older. Potential, they need someone young, someone to take the mantle once he retires. Huge. He's 6'5", pause. Like I said, you have him with Cameron Jordan. From there, there's a lot of talent here. And like I said, the Niners are in a great spot because there's going to be some players falling to him. And now this is where I do my first trade or my only trade scenario. So Sanders has been dropping. I had him with the Giants, but like I said, they got a quarterback now. So I think this is where the Steelers get aggressive. There's been talks, right? With Steelers is talking with Rogers. They just have, I believe, who do they have? They have Mason Rudolph is their only quarterback signed. So I think the Steelers trade up with the Bears. The Bears, they get more picks. They're building a great team over there with Ben Johnson. They trade up, they move up to number 10, and the Steelers, they take Shador Sanders. Now, a lot has been said about Shador Sanders. There's a lot of, he's a little hyped up. People don't believe in him. I think he's still good. He's very accurate. He's not very mobile. Um, but I think he'll fit right in with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have obviously DK Metcalf. They have ¿cómo se llama? Their other receiver. I forget his name. I forgot his name. Pickens. And they get Shador Sanders. The Steelers moving up to number 10. Um, like I said, he's accurate. He doesn't have mobility. But I think, just a little scenario here, them moving up. Now, the 11th, the Niners. Like I said, there's a lot of things here that I like. We can go. Obviously, there's a lot of holes for the Niners on their team. We need a tackle. We need you could say receiver. We need linebackers, edge, defensive tackle. But I think, like I said, I don't know if it would be too rich, right? If we went McMillan, the best wide receiver in this draft. But I think the safest pick, we go Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. Just have an amazing secondary. Lenore, Renardo Green, Will Johnson. He's 6'2". He's the type of cornerbacks the Niners like, similar to Charvarius Ward. Obviously, we need a replacement for him. He hits hard. Like I said, he has long arms, and he would just feel great. Our secondary would be great. And like I said, I'm not mad at it. As long as we pick a starter with this pick, like we need a starter, I'm good with it. So the Niners going Will Johnson. Now, to wrap this mock draft up, obviously there's 32 picks, right? But I only did the first 12. Obviously, shout out Bonnie. I wanted to include your Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys, they could go Tyler Warren, the best tight end in the draft. I know they have another tight end there, but you get they're mocking him like the next Gronk. But I think they go to Terrion McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona, 6'5". He just ran a 440 of 440 4 seconds and 440 40-yard dash. Very fast at 6'5". The best receiver in here. You're gonna pair him now with CeeDee Lamb. And finally, Dak Prescott, no excuse. You'll have the weapons. So I think the Cowboys do that. Like I said, we're a month away from the draft. Very curious how accurate I was, how off I was. But as these next coming weeks, I'll continue doing drafts just to see any mix up, any changes. If there's a big trade, if a team does trade up to try to get one of these quarterbacks, if they fall, we will see. But now, to I guess the little Niners talk, right? Alberto asking me, Rodgers to the Niners. Oh, I mean, I did miss it. A big report, right? Is that Brock Purdy is asking for 60 million. I saw one of those NFL insiders say, Brock Purdy and their agents are looking for 6 million, but not 6 million, 60 million. And I still think, he ain't worth that money. I know that's the price for that's the price for an elite quarterback. And I've talked about this so many times. Niners don't have to do anything. They could tell them you have 1 year left. You either could take this offer we're offering you right now, which could be 40 million. If Josh Allen got 55, why do you deserve to get more than Josh Allen? Yes, you've been to a Super Bowl, Brock Purdy, but did you go to a Super Bowl? And he played, and I think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback. He's good, but he ain't Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Mahomes. He's not you name him, right? Joe Burrow. So I think 40, 45 is fair for him for what he's done. Because he needs the team around him to be amazing and he will flourish. So let's say he decides, if I don't get 60, I won't show up to camp. The Niners rebuttal and they're like, all right, we're gonna get Aaron Rodgers. If you can't be here, at least Aaron Rodgers 1 year. Um, we know what he can do. We know the drama he brings. But like I said, the Niners have all the leverage, or at least they could threaten them with that. You want to sit out, all right? We're gonna bring Aaron Rodgers. And that's the thing, Purdy. He has no leverage. He needs to play that last year for it to count. He wants to get paid. Um, and I'm sure he knows that. That's the thing, we don't know what kind of mindset they're in because this is altering, life changing money, right? And to us, it's like, dude, just take 40. Like, why you want 60? But when you negotiate with new jobs, you're gonna ask for more, and then I'm sure they'll figure out a middle, right? Could be 45, 47. But I just don't think he's worth it. And only time will tell because there's a lot of things this team needs. Like I said, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, receiver. And if we play Purdy, we're gonna have to make signings like we've been doing, basically bargain bin signings. So I don't know. We'll see where Rodgers ends up, and we'll see if Rodgers actually retires. That could be a possibility too. So that's it for football. Now we go to football. A lot of internet, and I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm right now. Argentina and Brazil are playing. I believe Brazil's losing, but I prefer club soccer, club football than international break because I don't know. I just think club is better quality, I feel, but there's been good games. So obviously the big, right now talking point is USA, this USA team, right? I for a while, considered, on paper, if you look on paper, their team's good, stacked. Probably the most names in Europe out of the all CONCACAF teams, right? But yet Panama keeps beating them. They didn't have a great showing in this CONCACAF Nations League. They lost to Panama and then they lost to Canada. Um, so what's going on, USA? Because we're a year away from the World Cup, and I believed by now, they could make noise in this upcoming World Cup with all the talent that they have. That, like I said, their experience. Christian Pulisic, he's playing weekend without Milan. He's a starter. He's a great player for them. Um, and then there's many other players that they have. The Weston McKinney's, the Des, what happened to Reina. Um, but I think it's just I don't know. They're not gelling together. They're not playing as a team, and this is not just losing. Right? Is if you lose, but at least losing fighting for that badge. And I feel like Team USA, they don't got players like that play for the badge, that want to win, that want to show that we are the best in the CONCACAF. The World Cup is here. We want it, and even though it's a year away, there's still some time, but you're also not with these group of players, in club, right? They're training week in, week out, every day. They get that chemistry. International, there's long breaks, the only maybe every 2 months, 3 months. I think upcoming, in the Gold Cup, they're gonna, they get like a month, maybe like a month and a half together. That's when they're gonna have to, I think, try to find a style of play that they can use going forward. So it's crucial. This Gold Cup coming up in the summer is crucial for them because Mexico look good. Now, there's still some questions on the Mexico team that I have, but Raul Jimenez is emerging again at 35 years old. My boy is putting the team on his back. And Mexico now, they won the Nations Cup. They look good. They have that motivation. El Vasco Aguirre, that's all he knows how to do, win. And it's also being played in home soil in Mexico. And right now, they sit on top of the CONCACAF, which, it should have been, people were saying USA by now would be the leaders of the CONCACAF. Mexico, their quality of players, most of them still play in the Mexican league. They haven't been. I still think Mexico needs, like, obviously Raul Jimenez, striker. There's Santi Jimenez, but I still think they don't have a star, like their star player. Like I said, Raul Jimenez, he's a goal scorer, but I still think, back in the days, estaba Cuauhtemoc, right? Estaba Dos Santos, you could say, Bella when he wanted to play. That player that could change the game with the ball in his feet. And Raul Jimenez, he's been scoring goals, but I think Mexico needs that. Could it be El Chino Huerta? He's been playing great. He's more of a winger, but he's been playing good in Belgium, and these past couple games he played good. But we will see. Canada, they have a great team too. They have great players. And Panama, they're just feisty, strong. They don't give up. And they're gonna have to, qualify to get to the World Cup. Canada, Mexico, and USA don't. So that's another thing too, that they don't get that competitive games, when you qualify for a World Cup, constantly, I gotta win or else we don't make it, right? So that could also be a factor. Or is it Pochettino? I have experience with him with Chelsea. Wherever he goes, he just does not win. And I feel at his time with Chelsea, I kept saying over and over again is there's no identity. There's no identity there. There's no style of play. I don't know. But my question is, in 2026 from CONCACAF, what team will make it the farthest? And today, March 2025, I think it's going to be Mexico. And I think because them playing in Mexican soil, used to that, altitude. Most of their games are in the La Azteca or important games. Um, I think they might make it the farthest. We will see. We will see. But I think right now, Mexico could make it the farthest. Injuries could happen. Maybe Raul Jimenez goes on the dip. Maybe Santi Jimenez by that time, hey, he playing out of this world. Maybe there is a star that is born. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What you guys think of USA's performance, Mexico's performance? What do they need to compete with these other teams like the Spain's, right? Spain. I know Alberto's here. He counting on Jamal missing the PK. It happens. The glaze, but he's 17. He scored a crucial goal in that overtime, extra time. And he's going to be a year older, a year more experienced. We'll see what happens in the Champions League with him. But there's teams like Spain, there's teams like Germany, even Holland, um, right now Argentina, Brazil. So I can't wait for the World Cup. Something I want to touch on. What has been the best World Cup in our lifetimes that we've actually watched? Obviously, I remember fun. I don't remember, but I remember I used to watch a lot of the older World Cups, and I really like that 1986. Obviously, Maradona, La Mano de Dios, his incredible goal against England. But I wasn't alive, right? So I'm just gonna base on the ones I've watched, and that is legit from 2006 till most recent. Um, and then, of course, I was gonna say that I think 2010 has a lot of moments, and I have some moments here. Obviously, we start off with a bang, right? Mexico, South Africa, Chabalala. That's a memorable moment. The strike, Conejo, little ass Conejo, just flying, the dance, the vuvuzelas, the song, right? The Shakira, the Waka Waka. It's all just memorable. And I feel like at that time, then, we're what, 17, 16 years old. Soccer is, we're playing it constantly. These are, some of the players we've looked up to. But I think memorable is Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's goal against Uruguay. Um, to have the balls to shoot it from there. I think another player that stole that World Cup too was Forlan. He had many, many goals. Uh, I remember. I think his best goal was the third place game. I think where I think they played Germany, right? And he just shot that. Forlan had a great World Cup there. Um, Mexico beating France with Chicharito scoring, Cuauhtemoc scoring the PK. For us Mexico fans, very memorable. Which other ones am I missing? I remember Japan having some good games too in that World Cup. And some incredible goals by Keisuke Honda, free kicks. That was one. Then I was going to say also 2014 in Brazil. Obviously, Brazil losing 7-1 to Germany. Devastating loss for the Brazilian people. Um, Mexico beating Croatia. That was a good game too. Uh, which other one? James. That was James' tournament. 2010 was Forlan. This one was James. He came out, he showed up, and he balled out. That one. Um, no era penal for us. Painful, painful memory to this day. No era penal. That was one. 2010 is the one. I think for us, yeah, 2010. How about the best Mexico team? Like I said, that we were able to watch. I think the 2018 Mexico team was probably the best Mexico team and the one that could have made it the farthest if they didn't lose against Sweden. Because if they would have been first place of their group, they had beaten Germany, right? They beat Germany. If they would have been first place, the path to at least the semifinal would have been anything happened in the World Cup, but easy. They would have eventually faced off with England, or I think to get to the semis, they would have faced off England. So, but that would have been the farthest. But then I don't know what happened. That Sweden game, losing it, that momentum was just sucked out of beating Germany. Then you lose to Sweden, and then you're right back. I believe we end up facing Brazil, right, and then they beat us. So that one, the 2014 Mexico team as well. Uh, Dos Santos, Vela, Chicharito, Guardado, Layundowski. Because this 2022 team that we just saw, that was probably the most ass team. Um, they didn't make it out the group stage. Mexico at least makes it out the group stages, I would say. But yeah, World Cup right around the corner in a year when the year will be closer to it. And then I feel like this one might be memorable for us because it's going to be right in our backyard. We'll have some games here at Levi's. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my very best to watch a. Imagine that if you're able to go to El Azteca and watch the opener, but just watch Mexico and El Azteca, the history, the memory, the greats that have played there: Pelé, Maradona, Michel Platini, um, the history that has. That will be. Who knows when the next time a World Cup is going to be there here again? So I cannot wait. Need to go to two games at least, definitely. And that's the thing. When it was last year, 1994, I was there. I don't remember, but I was there. But now that we are able to remember and enjoy and know and watch some of these players that we've watched growing up and almost at the end of their career, be memorable. And I'm sure then if you're still here and Pancho taking Enzo Palmer, taking Hema, imagine that a World Cup game. That I think that's great too. That would be amazing, and hopefully a memory that they could remember. I'm not sure at that time what they'll be 2 years old, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Two, one, no, one and something. See, I don't know. I don't think 'cause I don't remember. when I went. Maybe Hema, but no. 2010 too, I think had the coolest ball, La Jubulani. There was actually, you know what? I really facts, at least they will have pictures. That's true. I like you know which ball I like? Pause. 2006, they already be scoring bangers by then. True. The 2006 finals World Cup ball, the gold one, that one was dope. I like that one. And they have some dope ass shoes too. The 2006 World Cup, I remember the Gold Predators, right? The ones that Zidane, I think he wore them. 2010 too probably had some good shoes. I don't know, Pancho, this is your territory, but they probably had some cool shoes too. Nike, right? F50s, Vapors. Yeah, I think they had like the Vapors, like they were like silver, like Ronaldo wore. Oh six with the different flags. If there, that's you. Yes, you're right. And then in 2008 Euro Cup, they also had that thing they had the similar thing with all the Euro Cup teams as well. Now we go to the big bunny questions for this week. The screw cleats, yep. His first question: what is the scariest thing you've ever witnessed? Hmm. Scariest thing I've ever witnessed. Niners losing Super Bowls. Does that count? That was very scary that I've witnessed. Hurtful. I guess if y'all know me, I mean, and I'll make it the shortest story, but when I went to Hawaii and I witnessed a Amber Alert saying that there was an atomic bomb incoming to the island, seek shelter and pray. And for 40 minutes, I thought this is it, GG's. So I guess that would definitely be like the scariest. Thinking that you ain't gonna make it for 40 minutes. So I would say that. Um Other than that, like I don't think I've witnessed like a fatal car crash or something. Uh, I would say that definitely. Can you name one movie that didn't need a sequel? I think one that comes to my mind right away, Gladiator. I would say. I don't think it needed a sequel. Uh, One sequel that was actually good was like the Top Gun. The second one was really good. That was really good. Um, I think yeah, Gladiator is one. I'm trying to think of ones that they were a classic, and then like they do the whole years later they'll do a like a reboot or whatever. Yeah, Gladiator comes to mind. Isn't there like a Titanic too? I don't know if it's like popular, but why would you need Titanic too? But yeah, I would say Gladiator. I haven't watched the second Gladiator, so maybe it was good, but like I don't know. Just leave the Gladiator how it was. Could you potentially say the Fast and the Furious just on its own? The first one, the simplistic. Obviously, there's been good ones, right? Like there's been good ones. The Tokyo Drift, Fast Two. I think what Fast and Furious Five was good, but they're constant of making them. I think if they would have kept it how it was, the first one, it's about racing. Very, very simple. That could be one. Which other ones? I think those come to mind definitely. Your questions is how does it feel to be 32? I had to correct this, Peppi's. I think you mistyped a number. You had to put how does it feel to be 33? I turned 32, but So I corrected it for you. No problem. It happens. Um, my back hurts more, I would say. But no, to be honest, I mean, it's weird to say that I'm 32 because I still feel like I'm a kid. I still look forward to things like playing video games, doing dumb things with my dumb friends. Still very childish, I would say. I mean, look, thank you guys for all the gifts, by the way. I appreciate it. I look forward to building this a Lego Groot one with dreads. Oh, no, he's wearing not dreads, he's wearing a headset. And shout out Turtle, too. I really like this right here. I love this right here. This is a dope gift. Obviously, I love Batman, the Joker with the cards. Thank you, Turtle. I appreciate it. Um, so it's weird saying that, yeah, but I'm also 32 and I'm also a fucking adult, which I've been for a while. And to think back when my parents were 32, they're already parents. They're already, I saw, when you think of someone that when you were younger, like, oh, 32, oh, they're hella old. Might as well just die. And now I'm 32 and it's like, damn, yeah. So that's how it feels. Also, it just feels whatever too. Like I still feel the same. Obviously, the big one was 30, right? And before that was 21, then eight, and then it was 18, right? I guess the next big one, right, is like 50. So I'm closer to that now than am I? 18. I'm getting there. So that's how it feels. Nothing else. GG's. Recap of the birthday weekend. I guess a party. Thank you everyone that showed up, that came through. Obviously, I said what I said. I had a speech, but grateful, had fun. I loved all the love that was there. The My people, close people, celebrating, having a great time. Definitely, Hema being there, baby Enzo Palmer. That was amazing. That was great having them around. Something that I'll always remember. And hopefully, when they're older, I'll bring up like y'all were here when y'all were babies. We were holding you, and now you're teenagers that don't even talk to us anymore. But that's fine. That's what happens. We all do that. But obviously, my family making the food, hosting us, everyone that came that brought something. There's still so much alcohol left that is going to last me till the summer. Probably not, but till the summer. And then yesterday, I went to the Giants game, had fun, amazing time. Um, great weather, good, like perfect weather for a Giants game. Hey, Giants game, I think it has the best, beautiful, most park in all of MLB. I don't know. It's the only MLB park I've been to, but man, you got the bay right there, the bridges, the weather's perfect. Great time always. Um, Thank you everyone that came to. Appreciate you guys. You guys know how much you mean to me. And then came home, and that's a wrap. And this Tuesday, we're here on the show. Always enjoying it. But that's a quick recap. Like I said, I'm blessed for another year, blessed for more knowledge, more experiences, and continuing on, growing, learning, being better me. So yeah, that's about it. Um, the last thing I wanted to touch up on, like I said, now is I've been watching Daredevil Born Again. So I'll try not to give spoilers. I think tonight 2 episodes are going to come out. So there's 4 episodes, so 2 more are going to come out, and I like it. I've been enjoying it. And the crazy thing is, without spoiling, is it's a Daredevil show, right? And if you've been watching this one, um, from the Netflix to now, obviously there's things that there's things that hit different when things happen. Like it starts off crazy right away. And if you've been watching this show since Netflix, you're like, damn, oh fuck. But I like their approach. Basically, to give a little insight, Daredevil, Matt Murdock, and it's like the show is showing you two sides, right? There's Daredevil, and then there's Wilson Fisk. You know, the Kingpin. And the Kingpin, he's the mayor of New York, trying to be good, trying not to go back to his dark path, darkness. And Daredevil's kind of doing the same. He is trying not to be Daredevil anymore. He's trying to actually be a lawyer and get rid of crime the right way, not being a vigilante. So what I say, I guess one little spoiler is like it's crazy how he has in these 4 episodes he hasn't put on the Daredevil costume, and I've enjoyed it. And I thought I would have been like, man, trying to see Daredevil, where he at? But I like the story. I like you get close with this character, and you're looking forward to knowing more about him. And if you watch it, you'll see what happens. And obviously, there's characters from past seasons returning. Um, so I've enjoyed it. How'd your night end? Last night? Good, good. Argentina 4-1. I know I heard right. Valió verga. And of course, bro, Argentina. Hi, Fo. How you doing? How's the drive? How'd the night end? Saturday? Good. Had a great time yesterday. Great time. Got home. Went to sleep. But that is my little recap of Daredevil, Born Again. Like I said today, 2 more episodes are coming out. I'm excited. See where it goes. There was a little trailer teaser teasing what's up next. Looks good. So good. Marvel, good. I know we've got a couple L's lately with these Marvel shows, but this one, I like it. I'm liking it because it's dark. It's more simple. Like it's not like, oh, they're trying to protect against this either end of the world or end of dimensions. It's more level crime in the city, right? They playing today? Shout out to all my Venezuelan people. But that about does it for today's show. I appreciate everyone showing up, listening to me talk about different things. We'll be back next week. Like I said, appreciate everyone wishing me a happy birthday. All love. Thank you again. But I love you guys. Peace out. Much love. We'll be back next week. Peace.